welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the hourly time frame. Man, I've really been analyzing this and getting all prepared to detail to you how price action is acting here. And we're about to close. We're 2 minutes away from closing another day, Saturday, June 8th, in the world of Bitcoin and crypto. This pink line right here, fuchsia colored line heading upwards like this, is the bottom of one of our channels that is propelling us upwards from the inverse head and shoulders that we had recently. So I wanted to show how it's acting as resistance here. And since Friday, we came right down to it. We wicked through it, but ultimately closed our candle bodies above it and wicked down to it. And have been going sideways really all the way up until here, 12 o'clock UTC, where we held it as support on this wick. Next one, we wicked through it. See, this I believe is the fake out strategy, where we wick through this, making you think, or if you have these lines drawn in your chart or something similar, I imagine I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one, because price action follows it so closely. So anyway, wick through here, scaring everybody. But what happened? So when it comes through here, everyone's thinking, damn, it's going to... And I thought this too. I'm so sensitive right now because I feel if there's any way they can dump us down, that they're going to. Just to suck up some liquidity and liquidate the over-leveraged players in the market. So, get us to break through the line, scaring everybody, and then buy it all back up. Same thing here. Wick through it a little bit, bought it all back up. And we've held this line as support, so much so that we even had these two little tiny hourly candles right there, traveling right upwards along this line. Finally, when we couldn't take it anymore and we couldn't break through the resistance at the top here, this horizontal line, that's imaginary, an imaginary horizontal line, that finally we did dump through here. And down and down. But where are we going? Well, remember, we had this wick here and this wick down here. So if you take a line parallel to that, like this one that I've drawn, you can see that we respected this wick here and here and here on those candles, and with this candle body, before finally breaking through it again. But where are we going to go now? Well, logic would tell you we might come all the way down to this wick, to a place parallel to that wick, which could potentially be right here. If we wanted to dump all the way down right now at the start of this new hour, this new day, all the way down to where the Gaussian channel is actually intersecting our previous all-time high from the previous cycle. So that's what I was prepared to show you here now, today. And then I zoomed out. And I got to switch to a 4-hour to zoom out more. And I turned off some of those other lines to make it a little bit clearer. I zoomed out some more, and I realized that what I was talking about was this little itsy bitsy price action in here that you can hardly even see right now. It's this little itsy bitsy witsy tiny little price action. So really, what's the frickin' point, huh? Anyway, that was that. So, but I do want to, oh, I got to turn those other channels back on for a second. So I don't remember where I left off in the story, but here we are. Whoops, get back there. Here we are at Friday, a week ago, Friday, May 31st. Can't believe we're already a week into June. And clearly, the battle here to hold the most important channel in Bitcoin's history, marked in the white color there, that's the bottom of it. We finally did hold it as support, and clearly traveled upwards along that dashed line right there, and then fell through it. Had a little battle with the top of the Gaussian channel and our previous all-time high from last cycle. And then we finally, from there, and look at how this line, the center line of this channel, acted as a little bit of resistance there, and then held it as support, came up here to the top, to the center line of the smaller blue parallel channel. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's in the previous videos. And the blue channels are the base of the blue channels are the trend line from January 2023 for the first half of that year until we fell through that trend line in August. It was very traumatic. Everybody should remember what that is. So that is the base of the blue parallel channels, and there are two blue parallel channels, and they both have the same base, and their tops are right here at the top of the screen now. Well, there's other ones too, but so hard to see. Nevertheless, this is the center line of one of the blue parallel channels that we are clearly holding. But note that we are also holding the center line of the fuchsia parallel channel, which is the parallel channel that we are currently trading upwards in from our inverse head and shoulders. Inverse head and shoulders is a reversal from a parallel channel sloping downwards into one sloping upwards. And currently, this is the one that we are in right here. So we did hold that as well as this for a while. Finally gave up on the steeper of the channels and came down clearly, although at a distance, clearly at the same slope as this pink line here. Held that for a while later on in the week here, Wednesday, Thursday. Before losing that, came down a little bit, and then fought to get back above the center line of the blue parallel channel, which was all fine and dandy. Everything was looking good. Came back and reclaimed this center line here. Had a little problem. Well, we were doing a battle with it. Trying to reclaim that center line there of our upwards sloping channel. And then, I don't know what happened. Bad job labor reports. Who knows? Whatever. Or you could argue this is just a fake out here, a Bart Simpson fake out from here, and back down there. So very well could be. Regardless, so I did mention before in my previous video, I had these two green kind of downward sloping but mostly horizontal lines in this picture anyway. And I said, it's great that we're above this one here, but I do not consider us out of the woods until we break above and form, higher time frame candle bodies above this second green line. And the reason for that is because that green line, if you go back here, we got rejected from right there. So until we get above that, I was not looking for continuation upwards. We wicked above it here. This is an hourly time frame. Let's see, what did we, let's just switch to a 4-hour, see if we held any 4-hour candles above there. No, see, we didn't. We might have held a candle or two on the hourly, but failed to hold a candle body above that green line on the 4-hour. And when we came up to our resistance right here, we couldn't get above it, and we broke down. So in reality, that was the reason for the breakdown. Combination of things, the the horrible increasing whatever the numbers are. There was bad numbers and good numbers. There was higher unemployment but more job openings. It was contradictory, but I don't know. It's all nonsense anyway, because they will be revised downwards in another few weeks or something like that. But it is what it is. So technically, failure to get up above here but that is when the numbers came out too, so it all kind of helped. But they took us down here because they could, and liquidated a lot of people. And I guess there was a bunch of, I didn't realize at the time, but there was a bunch of altcoins that got hit a little bit harder than Bitcoin. And so where did we come down here to? We came down to the bottom of the most important channel in Bitcoin history right here. Came right down to there and held it as support. And that is very, very, very good. Now, if we hold that as support, that's very, very bullish. And we kind of want to hold our previous all-time high and the top of the Gaussian channel as support. And those two are right here. And like I said, so starting off this day, we're not really moving much. Let's go back to the 1 hour. Yeah, we've moved maybe 10 bucks in 10 minutes downwards. So not moving a lot, definitely not a big dump, but it's only 10 minutes into the new day, so maybe we got a bigger dump coming. So if we did dump down, how much of let's just see what a percentage is, because we're so zoomed in right here that it's misleading. 0.43% dump down to there. That's not very far. Now, keep in mind, so, I talked about all these lines and everything, and they're all going horizontal and stuff like that. And clearly, we were consolidating in a ascending triangle formation here. Realistically, I didn't expect a breakout here, because essentially what we're doing, we're just going sideways. We really are just going sideways here. So we're going up and up and up and up, maybe potentially making people think that we're going to break to the upside. But in reality, we're just going up and then dump, going up and then dump, probably. Now, what we have to, where we left off Friday at close of U.S. market hours is right here at about 69,250. And that was not at the end of day Friday. That was at the end of U.S. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's the end of U.S. market. U.S. market trading hours, but CME futures actually stays open another hour. So that's 69,284 for spot, whatever the price was on CME futures. And you can see that's pretty much a base for our trading action over the past day. So in order not to create a, what do you call those things? A gap. In order to not create a gap when CME futures opens at, what time do they open? Is it 2200? 2200 right here where my cursor is. That's where we need to be at in order for there not to be a gap here or below. Somewhere below this red line essentially. And anywhere down there is fine. Anywhere down here is fine. If we do open up here, that's fine too. And I would really, really like to see that. I would like to see them use this for once because there have been gaps. And if you want to see those gaps, go look at this. Go to my channel. And then right here under Crypto Essentials, you'll see Bitcoin CME Futures Gap Myth Debunked. And if you click on this video...
Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy.
And I show you...
Here we are, $1,000.
I show
That's
you
probably why a lot
all
of
the
people
gaps
think we're going
right
down there, but we're not.
previous...
Here's another one. It's very small, but it's a $20 gap. The gap, nonetheless, will never get filled. That's around 11,200 on the 12th of October, 2020.
Show all the gaps in Bitcoin's history.
We didn't fill them until years later.
That
so
stayed open.
This.
Look, there's a $1,400
we did not
gap, a
fill
$500
these
gap,
until our next bear market.
Gap.
So this one
eventually
got
did
filled
get closed in the next bear market.
December.
But years later, there was no rush to close these gaps, and there are still some that remain open. Look, there's James. BlackRock manipulation. Yeah. There's a lot of manipulation going on right now, I feel, whatever you want to call it. So I just was looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. And over the 24-hour, we're looking at the overall Bitcoin symbol on a 24-hour time frame. And it's very, very symmetrical. I just thought that was interesting. And we're just traveling right through the center of it, very in the mid-range, just very through this big gap in the center. So if you're like me and you want to see Bitcoin move on, you want to see us hold this right here at the top of the Gaussian channel. We've been dicking around inside the Gaussian channel for a while now. Usually we don't stay this long inside the Gaussian channel since back in mid-May. Well, no. Oh, my Lord. That's actually the mean band. Let me turn off some of these lines. We don't need them anymore. That was the center line of the mean band of the Gaussian channel. Actually, we've been in the Gaussian channel since. I even have to scroll back a little. Oh, my Lord. I got to scroll back further. Holy moly. Whoa, look at this. Seriously? Oh, yeah, this is too much. Since April 12th, we've been inside the Gaussian channel here. dipped out of it a little bit there. Usually when we dip out of it and we head back up into it, that's about it. That's about the end of our experience with it. But we got stuck here for quite a while trying to battle above it. So it's not typical. But it's also at our previous all-time high. And essentially the reason for all this is a lot of people have pointed out this is a big cup and handle. I guess we got to go on a weekly. So you got a big cup and handle, like I pointed out before with all the altcoins. And you have all of these little, I mean, that's what all these are. Little one here, and then once you reach a level where people had gotten in and then lost money, then you see a pullback, a little handle where they're saying, hey, I'm out of here. I'm going to take my profits and get out of here. And that's it. I got other things to do. I got mortgage payments and car payments and a trip I want to go on. And I'm 90 years old and I'm not going to be here much longer and whatever. Same thing here. And then ultimately, when we've reached our previous all-time high, where we had a whole bunch of people getting in here. For everyone that's selling, a lot of people are buying right up here at these levels. And maybe not so many of them are certain where Bitcoin's going right now. So when you have all this big cup here, then you got a little handle there of people taking profits and getting out and doing whatever. And so that's what all this is right here. In this, in our Gaussian channel and at the top of our previous all-time high. Don't really need to be on a weekly. Let's go to a 4-hour. And then what my friend pointed out as well, she's like, oh my gosh, there's another little cup and handle right here. Another little cup and handle. So this is our second dip into the Gaussian channel, where we didn't shoot out here. We came back for one more. And so this is valid too. Because people were thinking, maybe there were some people thinking that, they got in right here thinking, yeah, we're going up to 100K or whatever. And now they're really questioning what's going to go on with Bitcoin. So a lot of people are getting out right here. I mean, not a lot of people, not me. I actually bought. I'm waiting. Thing is, I'm just waiting for the FOMC just like everybody else. So I was able to scrounge up a few more coins from the couch, and I put in an order right down here. So I said, you know what, if we're going to dump, I said, whatever we're going to do, I don't think we're going to pump. Whatever's going on here, I don't think we're going to pump before the FOMC meeting. So I put in a limit order down here and got hit. So I said, if we do dump, I think we'll hold the white line here. And we did, sure enough. So that's good. Held the white line, holding the top of the Gaussian channel and holding our previous all-time high. That's what we want to see. We don't want to come back down here. Not saying that we're not going to, and if we do, it's not completely bullshit. Because you can see our pink channels here, our fuchsia colored channels. This is the inverse head and shoulders right here. And even like guys like Tyler have pointed out that there's even a bigger inverse head and shoulders, where this inverse head and shoulders is simply the head. There's a shoulder here, and we're forming this other shoulder here. That's kind of true, but it would just be a continuation pattern. It's not really a reversal because we aren't reversing from up here somewhere. We're not coming down this way in a parallel channel like this and then switching to another one. It's really just the same as this one here, but it is very powerful pattern. So this is the channel that we are currently reversing into from our head here up that way. And so what I've done is I've taken this channel and doubled it and placed it right next to it, and then I've even split that in half just to give us smaller time frames to look at. And what you'll see is how we clearly traded in this channel. Well, that was the head. And then we came up and held the center line of support, came back down, and ran right along the base of the channel there. But clearly we are trading in these structures heading upwards. So it would not be out of the question, since we are in the lower channel here, which is these two together. Currently we are holding the center line of this lower channel, but we may not. We're trying to hold the center line of this lower channel, which is the intersection or the union of these two little channels here. So we're trying to hold that, but it may not hold. If it doesn't hold, then it would be certainly reasonable that we could come down to the mean band of the Gaussian channel here on Monday, possibly, or sometime today, or tonight, or tomorrow. That certainly is a possibility. It's also a possibility that we come down to the bottom of the Gaussian channel. If we were to get like horrible CPI data on Wednesday, where like inflation was like 2 or 0.3% higher than expected or something like that, I don't think it's the end of the world at all, but it certainly would shake up the markets. And that could cause a bunch of panic selling and liquidations that would bring us down here. And that is also where the 21-week moving average is headed, somewhere around here. It's all in the same area, so that would not be out of the question. But I do not think that it's not any sort of a reversal in any sense whatsoever. And now you can see the blue channels better, because I turned those other lines off. This is the base of the blue channels. And remember how we were holding the center line. Once we hold that, are able to hold that center line, which I think will be later on this week, that means we're going to the top. We're going to be trading back in the upper part of the blue parallel channel. And that's up at 86,000. The top of it is up at 96,000. I'm pretty sure that's where we're headed at the end of June. I think there's no more holding us back. We've been held back for so long here. And it's over. The selling pressure's over. The selling pressure from Grayscale, selling pressure from anybody who's questioning their investment in Bitcoin. It's all over. Everybody's getting in. The larger institutional investors are coming in, and they're buying a lot. They need and they need to buy a lot more. And I just don't see how it can be held down any further anymore, and certainly not dump significantly. Anybody who would be selling to these other institutional players aren't going to be able to get their Bitcoin back. Their Bitcoins. And plus, so also these, if we follow upwards in our fuchsia colored channels, we're heading right up here. And that takes us into the end of June and July. I mean, the intersection right here, we could see a rejection right there at about 96,000 as early as like June 24th or something like that. entirely not out of the question, because you can see how Bitcoin has moved. Not here. Oh, let's switch to a daily. You can see how we've moved in the past. We could very well see, since this is the pole of our flag here, could very well see a move like this very quickly up to the top of these channels here. And actually, something I keep meaning to bring up, but I haven't. I believe the 5-day just closed. Why, yes, it did. We have 5 more days left. So we want to look at the BBWP, which is right here, this one right here that just moved. The one with the blue colors right there. So it's still hanging out down here at 4.37%. And let's look back at another time, like right here, it kind of, When is there another time that it did that? How about right here? July 2020. Oh, yeah, that's about same part of the cycle we're in right now. So we could see a big, this is what happened when we came out of a long consolidation here, just like we're having now. And we shot upwards. And let's just see how much that is. And that wasn't a long time ago. That was just like 4 years ago. So it wasn't like in the early part of Bitcoin. This isn't real accurate, but over the course of, about a month, shot up about 40%. So 40% right now of, like, say 70,000, it's 28,000, 98,000. That's fully in line with what I'm thinking is going to happen. It's about to happen. Fully in line to take us up to between $86,000 and $96,000. So that's the 5-day. 5 days at extreme lows. Let's see what happened to the 2-day, because I did look at it and it was coming down, and certainly, yes, it is now under 10% at 9.52. So I noticed a lot of times the 5-day and the 2-day are getting extremely low volatility at the same time. And so the 5-day actually did it first and stayed down so long that it finally this 2-day came down. So now we got the 2-day, the 5-day. I'm sure the 1-day. 1-day is kind of starting to expand, maybe, possibly. So yeah, it looks to me, and also the weekly. The weekly is also at extremely low volatility. Down at the bottom, it's at 1.9%. I mean 1.19%. So all these are extremely low, ready to blast off. And which way are they going to blast off? Up. Let's just say up. This is the, let me see what my indicators are here. I forget which ones are which. That's the stochastic RSI. Here's the stochastic indicator. You know what? Let's just look at this one. This one's a little smoother. So on the weekly, that one's pointed up. Heading back up to, well, this one's it's on a different time frame here. It has a 50 as the tops. Well, it goes above 50. guess it can go up to 100. Anyway, the point is it's going up. Let's look at the 5-day. And that one's going up too, and it's actually heading above that 50 line. I don't really know how to read that indicator, but I can just, without really having knowledge of it, I can say that's probably good. And the 2-day. Oh, but see, the 2-day just started a new 2-day period, which will be Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday. So it has time to curve back upwards there. And I don't know, well, daily's going down. Same difference there. So let's look at the RSI as well. You know what? I'm going to look at the RSI on a different chart. Well, first, before I move on to the Coinbase chart, I accidentally clicked on Binance. This is another chart I have drawn on Binance, Bitcoin, on the daily time frame we're looking at here. And these upward sloping lines are would be the channel we're traveling upwards in from the inverse head and shoulders here. And this downwards sloping line here is simply very local here. It's the tops of these two candle wicks here, and forming a symmetrical triangular formation that we did break out above here. And so what are we doing now? We're actually coming back down and retesting the top of that. That's really, really good. And we have not fallen. We're holding that as support. We're holding the top of that as support. So that's really, really good. It's important, I guess, to get outside and look at things from different perspectives here. This is very, very telling for me. What is the top of this line here? Yeah, could we come all the way down to... Not quite. But I imagine if we, you know what, so yeah, we wicked through it here, but then came right back up and held it as support. Which also is very significant here because I didn't realize that we were actually holding this line as support when we came back up and closed the day there. That's very, very, very good. That's good. It's bullish. So now let's look at Coinbase here. Oops, wrong one. I'll pause. Never mind. I guess it was here on Binance. Let's make these guys all smaller. Oh, we don't have to do that. We'll just blow this up. So this is the RSI. And yeah, I went over this before, how a lot of times people use trend lines like this yellow or white trend line right here. And when you look at it that way, this acted as support, support, support until right here. And then we lost support at the end of May. Or did we? Because I've drawn it as a parallel channel. And May 1st. That's our inverse head and shoulders right there. So this is the head of our inverse head and shoulders. So I guess this would be similar to the channel we're traveling upwards in. So when you draw it in channel, you see that this is our support, and we held the center line of this lower channel as support. We've held the union of these two I guess intersection. Would that be an intersection or a union? It's a union of the top of one channel and the bottom of the other channel. I don't know, whatever you call it, where these two intersect. Is it intersecting if they're running parallel? I guess so. I guess it's an intersection. Intersection of these two channels, which are completely parallel with one another, You can tell clearly held as support here, acted as resistance in these places. It held, we traveled in the upper part of this channel here and fell. All we've done right here when we fell through this trend line here is that we fell into the lower of the two channels. And currently, we're not doing anything bad here. Nothing bad. And is this the 12th? Yeah, that marks the 12th. So, till we break, unless we break this fuchsia colored channel here, I think things are still looking good. We could even come right down and test it here. And then, boom, we're off to the races. I think this is really, really good because what you see here is that we're at the bottom, simply the bottom of a channel. And when we get to a bottom of the channel, we tend to blast up back towards the top of the channel. See, Gerber Baby was saying we need to come back up here. I don't believe him. I don't believe him one bit that we got to come back up to 88. But could we possibly do that? Let's see. If we stayed in this channel, where would we hit? Oh, I guess so. We would come above 88. Yep, by the first week of July. Actually, maybe go back more. Right about there. The 4th of July. I'll be damned. Yay, fireworks galore. Yeah, we really could. If that, in case, is real. I don't really know how much I fall for that. That we have to keep making higher highs on the... see, actually, is the second one higher here? When was this? This was October 23. Damn, they're both really close. It looks to me like the first one's higher. Yeah, it is. Just barely. So, I don't know how much all that holds true because when you come back down, you're actually resetting. So every time you come back down here, you're resetting and you're just going up again. You don't need to. If that were the case, then this one would have to be higher than this one. And that's not true. It's about this. It's just a little bit lower. I mean, you can go back and it just doesn't make any sense to me. This one's lower here. This one right here is lower than that one. But then we came back down and went higher here. So that theory is full of baloney as far as I'm concerned. When was that? That was in 2021 cycle. Oh, I don't think we can go back much further on this chart. Anyway, and this is Binance. It's not the it's not the total of all the charts, all the different exchanges. So we're looking at CME futures right now on the daily time frame. And remember how it was just when I was looking at the 5-day BBWP and I said this is very similar, the length of our low volatility. It's very similar to when? July of 2020. And here we are back at July of 2020 on CME futures. Actually, I think it was July 24th. And here it is right here, July 24th. And what happened? July 24th was a Friday. And then over the weekend, well, nothing happened over the weekend. Not on futures. But then what happened on Monday, gapola. There was a gap from, well, technically from the top of the candle of trading on Friday, let's just say 9666 to 9920, so $250 ish, about $250 gap right here that never got filled. We blasted off. 27% over the course of the next couple weeks, and then tried to come back down and refill it. And I think that's what's could possibly happen here, is that this is like a bear trap, and leaving that gap open is going to liquidate a lot of bears eventually. When we come back down and try to close that gap, they will have it in their minds that that gap must be closed, and whoever is not going to let it get closed. This one did not get closed and remains open. And what happened after that? After about a month, we blasted up, we came back down, tried to close it. I'm sure they tried again here. We had a boom. Look at that. Those nice little, these are looking like we're going to cascade down, like we're going to dump. And it didn't happen. I'm sure there was a lot of, well, look at this. Look at all the selling pressure here. And it all got bought up. And failed to close that gap. And this, I believe, is what's going to happen soon. If I were a bull, if I were whoever with a lot of money, market makers or whoever's trying to run the show here, that's exactly what I would do here. Because they have been liquidating longs all throughout this nonsense here of consolidation, up and down, liquidating longs constantly. And shorts have been too, but not to the extent that the longs have gotten beaten up here. And so I think if it were me, I would be doing this to fake out the shorts, thinking that this is a double top. We're never going to go higher than here. We're going to go down. This is where Bitcoin dumps back down to 48 or 42 or whatever. This is where Bitcoin dumps back down. And if you got enough shorts believing that, and hopefully Gareth Soloway believes that, him and his crew of Bitcoin shorters, hopefully that's what they're thinking. I hope to God that's what they're thinking, and they just try to short the hell out of this, and we form a gap here and start taking off, and then they come in and short, and then boom, they get liquidated. They're like, okay, that's all right. We'll back off. We'll get them again later. And then they come back down and they try to short, and boom, they get liquidated again. So that's what I would do if I were a market maker or whatever, or a whale. So I certainly would do. And that's going to get us up here. It's going to get us way up here somewhere. That and the fact that Bitcoin's disappearing. It's like if you watch James or whoever does this on chain analysis, it's like, I don't know, I've heard like 1,800 Bitcoin are disappearing every day and only 450 are getting produced. So yeah, a lot more demand for this product than there is supply. And when people get bored of selling, or the shorts run out of fuel, then off we go. So here we are looking at the Binance chart again, and I wanted to see what is this that we need to close at today. Above, I'll just say 69.2. Maybe we could be a little bit below, well, 60. Yeah. As long as we're above 69,190, this is very, very good at close of business today, Sunday. Well, that would be tomorrow for me, and I don't know what it would be for you, but about 23 hours from now. So thus far, we are coming down a little bit. Let's get back to our regular chart here and go to an hourly time frame. Kind of zoom in here and see what's happening. We just started a new hour. Okay, so the new hour, we're coming down a little bit. Trying to scare everybody, but and all right, so that's that, and see you again soon. Like, subscribe, and well, like it's getting all bought up. Turn green, turn green, and we'll see you next time.